What's up, YouTube? It's the Console Samurai with Grown Ups Gaming. Facebook recently made an announcement that makes it seem as if they are trying to get into the PC, or actually in the gaming market, in a much bigger way. As far as gaming on Facebook, we're all familiar with how this works. You go to facebook.com, you find the game, you play it in your browser. Really simple. Couldn't be any simpler than that, really, other than installing the game directly onto your computer. Well, they recently made an announcement that could change all that. They announced a new feature called Gameroom, which is an external app you download and you can play all your Facebook games within this external app. Very similar to certain competition, some really big competition that they would have. When you talk about PC gaming, the PC gaming platform Steam will very frequently come out. And it is the biggest, most well-known, most widely used PC gaming platform in the world, at least at this point. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of competition for Facebook if that's what they're going up against. And I don't know that that's actually their plan to go up against Steam, but it does seem that way. And if that is true, then they're definitely going to have a hard fight ahead of them. Now, there are a few reasons why I don't think this is actually going to succeed. Number one, Facebook as a gaming entity is not really that big a thing anymore. Back in the golden age of Facebook, when everyone in the world was on Facebook, if you weren't on Facebook, you didn't exist. Everyone was already on Facebook, so it really made sense to play the games within Facebook because, well, it's not like you're on another website. You're on everything. Facebook, it was the site everyone was on, so that was the game people played on. But those days are gone. Facebook gaming is kind of become a ghost town. The majority of people who played on Facebook have moved on to other things. They moved on to newer home consoles. They moved on to playing on their cell phone, smartphone, mobile phone, whatever you want to call it. They've moved to Steam. They've moved to handheld consoles. They've left behind, and I hesitate to use this word, they've left behind the most casual gamers, the ones who are perfectly fine playing in their browser because they don't play that often. It's not really anything they're going to play for hours at a time. They play for 10, 15 minutes at a time. They're done for the day, whatever. And I think that is going to be one of the biggest obstacles that Facebook is going to come up with or come up against when talking about this game room thing. Because the kind of gamers who still play on Facebook are not necessarily going to go out and download an external app just to play the Facebook games that they can play in their browser. Like I said, they only play for short periods of time a day. It's not necessarily going to be worth getting a external app to play all that. Now, of course, there will be a few people. There are still a few people who play on Facebook games who are going to be hardcore enough to actually download that. But the vast majority of the gamers on Facebook, I don't see them doing that. The other issue is the majority of your games, your casual games with Facebook integration, are already on your cell phone. You know, they're on your iOS, they're on your Android, they're on your Windows phone, they're on your what's the new one from Google, Pixel. They're on all of your mobile phones, and I'm sure they're not going to be coming up with any kind of game room app for the phone because, to be honest, that would probably be either completely pointless and just act as a folder for all these, or it would just waste your space because you still need to have these games, these apps installed on your phone. So it's really not going to cut down on anything. So, truthfully, I really don't see this actually working because the majority of their core gaming is gone. They've moved on to other platforms. The majority of their games are on phones now. I just don't really see this game room thing as working. I think it's a great idea. I just think it would have been a much better idea years ago, back when Facebook was still a great place to play games because it had so many games that so many people are still playing. I still have Facebook friends from when I played these games, but we don't play these games anymore. But what do you think? Do you think that this Game Room app could possibly stand up against Steam, or maybe fill the gap and kind of supplement Steam? You know, the games you play in your browser could go to Game Room, and the ones that you install on your computer could go to Steam. That could work, but I don't know how serious anyone would take this Facebook app, especially since so many people are leaving Facebook now. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Once again, I'm the Console Samurai, and I'll see you around.